Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. All tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars but I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Mama said, stop built for oddities, stranger possess. Ain't ever wannabes, waiting the novelties that don't ever change. We wanted everything, wanted everything. Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Oh, stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. All tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. They say it's all been done, but they haven't seen the best of me. So I got one more run, and it's gonna be a sight to see. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as senior class member Skylar Starrett performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Skylar. Please be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the beautiful and historic Holland Stadium as we come together to celebrate the outstanding young men and women of the 51st graduating class of Auburn High School, the class of 2021. This school year was the golden anniversary of Auburn High School, celebrating 50 years of existence following the merger of East, West, Central High Schools and Mount Carmel. Graduates, how fitting it is that this is your year to graduate. It's fitting because collectively, you shine like gold. Your spirit, enthusiasm, and unwillingness to let anything or anyone deter you from making the memories that you have and leaving your mark on our school community are characteristics that neither the faculty, staff, nor I will ever forget. In our golden anniversary year, you led the charge. There's a scene in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, starring Will Smith. Perhaps you've seen it. In this scene, Will's character tells his young son not to pursue playing the sport of basketball because he would likely be a below-average player like his father. After telling his son this and seeing the hurt in his eyes, Will's character realized the need to uplift his son, not limit his dreams. After this realization, Will's character said to his young son, "Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something, not even me." People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. If you want something, go get it. Period. It's a simple message, but how powerful it is. You experienced this same type of messaging over the last year. People told you that you would never get back to school full time, even though you desperately wanted that. It took 8 months into the school year, but you finally accomplished that goal in April, having the ability to return to school, walk the halls with your friends every day. So you checked off that box. People told you you wouldn't be able to play interscholastic athletics this year. Instead of simply playing, you embraced the opportunity to be with your teammates, and you led multiple teams to undefeated seasons, a berth in 3 sectional championships in the spring alone, which, as a reminder, was the only season the state even allowed us to participate in sectional competition. I dare say, if sectionals were allowed in other seasons, we would have been in more sectional championships. And 2 outstanding teams brought home 2 sectional championships. So I'd say you check that box off too. People told you you would not be able to have a senior picnic, a real prom, or a graduation that allowed for all of you to be together with all of your loved ones surrounding you. Well, over the last 3 weeks, check, check, and check. You know what all of that is? That's gold. You were meant to be members of the graduating class of 2021. We needed you in the class of 2021. We needed your spirit, your friendships, and your collective pursuit of happiness. Remember that quote. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. If you want something, go get it. Period. Graduates, I will miss you tremendously, but I gain comfort in knowing that you will shine like gold far beyond this community of ours. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as your principal. I wish you a lifetime of success and happiness. Thank you. Gives me great pleasure to introduce our first student speaker this evening. Senior Class President, James Vasile. Jimmy is the son of James Vasile and Rory Calhoun. He is a member of our National Honor Society and our History Club. Jimmy has served as the captain of our cross-country, indoor, and outdoor track teams for several seasons. As a senior, he also served as a student representative on the Auburn Large City School District's Board of Education. In the fall, Jim will attend NYU, and he will continue his running career in college. Please welcome Senior Class President, James Jimmy Vasile.
I would like to begin by thanking everybody for coming out today, and I would also like to congratulate the class of 2021 for all your accomplishments. Am I heard? Should I restart? Okay. Can everyone hear me now? Okay, perfect. So I'd like to begin today by thanking everybody for coming out, and I would also like to congratulate the class of 2021 for all your accomplishments. I want to remind you that though this is a pretty major life event, it's also just one of many moments that you can look back on and cherish. Think about all the moments you have already experienced in your life that you can hold. From the first day of high school to your first kiss into the storming of Auburn High School just a few weeks ago. Though instead of tear gas and baseball bats, we were armed with silly string and glitter. Today, I don't want to dwell on the past too much. Rather, I want to visit the future. I want to make you question what your future will be, how you will think, and what you will leave as your legacy. 30 years from now, we'd be around the same age that Mr. Morgan is today. But his situation is a little different because he never really left high school. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of teachers that graduated from Auburn High School, went off to college, and then came back to where it all started. In all honesty, I plan on doing this myself. This past year has been extremely challenging for many people and for many professions, but I think people forget to mention our teachers. And I would like to sincerely thank you all for not just working hard this year, but every year to really influence and impact the lives of your students. "30 years from now, what will you remember most about high school? You won't remember the petty things like who blocked you from Snapchat or who talked bad about you behind your back, but you will remember March 13th, 2020 as the day the world went into crisis. Schools shut down, stores shut down, essentially life shut down. And with this shutdown, we found a sudden dependence for hand sanitizer, Clorox wipes, and toilet paper. The pandemic was challenging for us all, and that mostly was because we were all home together, all day, every day. For my family, things were a little different. Both of my parents, like many of yours, continued to work every day during those initial months, which meant we were the family who was ordering out every night. Another day you will probably remember is today, your graduation day. Though we are all sitting here in the same stadium, listening to the same speeches and seeing the same people, your memory may not be the same as the classmate to your left or to your right. For some, this day will be dull in comparison to the memories you make within the next 30 years. Your college graduation, your wedding, or the first birth of your child will all overshadow this day. But for others, this day will be one of your strongest memories because you truly enjoyed the memories you made here in Auburn. Now, we are going to fast forward 300 years into the future. The year would be 2321. Obviously, we're all dead. But even though we're dead, I'd like you to imagine what the world will look like. Will there still be elephants? Will Miami have become part of the Atlantic Ocean? Will someone have finally invented flying cars? Now that we have a pretty good picture, well, hopefully you made a picture in your head. Hopefully you've made a pretty good picture of the world. I want you to reflect personally on what you will be. What were your contributions to history? Are you remembered? Did you leave a legacy behind? Legacy. That's a funny word. What people think of us, what we do, how we act, and how we view ourselves are all rolled up into what our legacy will be. Our legacy is what we have left behind. I look around at all of you, and the best advice that I have received and that I would like to share with you today, as cliche as it sounds, is that you should be yourself and live your best life. You all know me pretty well. You know I say pretty out of pocket and wild things. You know that I speak my opinions pretty freely, especially in relation to other people. It leads to conflict, but it also leads to resolution. Being myself to me is being true to those around me, regardless of what the consequences will be. And that leads me to living my best life. I don't worry about what people think of me. I worry about what I think of myself. I want to know that I lived happy, that I lived without regret, and that I didn't do it all for the clout. We don't know what the world will look like in 300 years. We don't even know if there will be a world in 300 years. We have gone through high school with teachers telling us that we are the ones responsible for saving the world, and we have an enormous burden placed upon our shoulders with high expectations, but no one has simply told us to enjoy life. We have gone to school, we have worked hard, our lives have been intertwined with social media since we were born, with our pictures on Facebook during every significant life event. We have been part of the web since day one, and we connect and disconnect simultaneously every day. I think it's time to reconnect with ourselves and to reconnect with each other. This past year, we have had to shut down and take cover, but now it's time to live our lives. We need to stay away from the toxicity that is social media. We need to embrace our similarities and our differences. We need to be passionate while still being mindful towards others. We need to simply let loose. Yes, we are the generation that is supposed to change the world. But how are we going to do that without having any fun? My fellow classmates, today is the day as we leave this stadium. It is up to us to decide how we will live our lives. I could not possibly live my best life if it was not for my parents. They taught me to do the things for the people you love and not for people to love you. They taught me what love is and how to live my life through pain and sorrow. And they also taught me that we cannot control the circumstances around us, but we can control ourselves and how we act. The accolades you have received up to today and the accolades you will receive after today are great, and you should be proud, but they will not be listed on your tombstone. What should be listed on your tombstone, what should be your legacy, are 5 simple words. I lived my best life. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. And thank you for advocating for your classmates all year to ensure that we had the successful year that we did. At this time, please welcome to the podium our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jeffrey Pirazzolo.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. First and foremost, congratulations to the class of 2021 families, parents, friends, congratulations to all of you. I want to take a moment to recognize our Board of Education for all the hard work they do. Joe Shepard, our board president, Eli Hernandez, our vice president, Bill Andre, Sam Jean Greco, Rhoda Overstreet Wilson, Ian Phillips, Danielle Wood, Jeff Gasper, and Kathy Rhodes, who after 9 years of serving on the board will be stepping down. We will miss you, Kathy. We wish the best to you. And our new board member starting July 1st, Matteo Bartolotta. Thank you for all that you do. I guess I really should have talked to Mr. Morgan before writing my speech because ours are very similar. And I think that's because we've all lived the same life for the past year and a half. I very rarely do a speech on graduation because, really, parents don't want to hear the superintendent talk. They want to see our kids get their diplomas. But this year was a special one for me, and I actually started to write a speech 2 years ago. But man, my speech has really changed. I was going to speak about how you're starting a new chapter in your life, as am I. For the last 20 years, I've had my own child in public education, and with my son graduating this year, which is a privilege to be able to give his diploma to him, it's going to be life-changing for me as well as it will for you. But again, like Jimmy said, on March 13, 2020, school as we all knew it came to a halt. Who would have ever thought we would be using terms such as social distancing, face masks required, but notice tonight, no face masks. That's awesome. That is awesome to see. Hybrid learning model or remote learning. Last year when our seniors were standing on Holland Stadium for graduation, we did 6 ceremonies last year. 6 ceremonies. I felt sorry for our seniors. But you know what my message was to those seniors? You guys were lucky that you got 3/4 of a year, because my real worry is for our juniors, and those juniors are sitting here tonight. We knew that it was going to be a tough year this year. We knew that you were going to miss out on a lot of things your senior year. But what did we really miss out? We missed out on a few things, but let's talk about the positives. By a show of hands, how many of you did not have to take a Regents exam your junior year? Yeah, let me tell you, I would have killed for that. Actually, I probably would have been in Harvard if I didn't have to take Regents exams. How many of you didn't have to take final exams? This year, we made it back into school slowly. We started out a couple of days a week, but eventually we got there 4 days a week. How many seniors do you know that had a 3-day weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays off? I don't know many. How many of you wore pajamas to class most of the year? Didn't get out of bed. Could sit right there and do classes right in your own living room. Like Mr. Morgan said, we got a chance to play sports this year. We had sectional champions. We had undefeated teams. We had undefeated individuals. And we probably would have had more sectional championships if we could have done it in the fall and the winter. We had concerts at the end of the school year. We had our senior picnic, a prom all together. Started out with 2 separate ones, but ended up doing a prom all together. And look at tonight. Look at the amount of people here at Holland Stadium tonight celebrating your successes. You persevered and made it through the challenges that we all encountered last year and a half. You are now better prepared to face your new endeavors, whether it is in college or joining the workforce. We will always be here to support you all. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you, Mr. Pirazzolla. Our next student speaker this evening is class of 2021 Salutatorian, Catherine Brown. Kate is the daughter of Jeffrey and Melissa Brown. She's a member of the National Honor Society, the New York State Science Honor Society, the Z Club, the Model United Nations Club, the History Club, Chemistry Club, French Club, the Varsity Club, and the Future Business Leaders of America, just to name a few. Kate has also been a very successful member of the Auburn High School women's tennis team. Kate will be attending Lemoyne College in the fall to major in accounting. Please welcome your salutatorian, Catherine Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan, for the introduction, as well as everything else you've done for us this year. You went the extra mile to make sure this year was the best it could be, and so we could have our picnic, our prom, and this graduation. I'd also like to thank the administration and Mr. Pirazzolla for everything you've done for us this year. I want to thank my family for all the guidance and encouragement they've provided me with for the past 18 years. Thank you, Ms. Casaletta, for working so hard to organize our prom and our picnic. I cannot say thank you enough to Mrs. Oliver Carr for everything she's done for me over the past 3 years, from heating up my lunch in Mr. Tessa's office to letting me eat lunch in your room. She also wrote passes because I was often late due to our everyday discussions. And most importantly, thank you for making sure I wrote a proper speech for today. I'm really going to miss you, Jeanette. As many of you know, I've been waiting for this moment since my freshman year. Some people look at today as a sad day. High school's over and now we have to grow up. This is true, but it isn't sad. We're all moving on to bigger and better things. All the drama and things that have consumed us for the past 4 years will be distant memories. We won't remember being left on red or delivered. During this past year, we learned not to take the little things for granted. We went a year without seeing each other, and that made us all realize that we needed human contact. When we came back to school in person, we were still not complete due to the hybrid schedule. It wasn't until April when we were given the choice to head into school 4 days, and even then, classmates chose to stay home. Seeing people in the halls was something that we learned to appreciate, even though we couldn't see their entire face. We took everything in stride and appreciated everything that was offered to us. When Auburn High School opened in 1970 and combined students from Mount Carmel, East, West, and Central, it brought students together. It was a first. It's fitting that we're part of the golden anniversary for Auburn High. We had a lot of firsts this year. Our first day of school was done from a computer at home, where we either met our teachers through a video or live class with the sound glitching throughout the lesson. For some of us, it was the first and only Zoom class we had. For others, it was just the beginning. Making sure you had your alarm clock set was important. If you didn't show up on time, you did not receive your participation points for the day. Our year was spent wearing masks, sanitizing regularly, staying socially distanced, and wondering if we would be quarantined for 10 days or more. But not everything this year was bad. We had our first homecoming in the spring. We had fun standing in the tennis courts, looking through the fence. Not your typical way of watching a football game, but at least we got to have one. This was our first and probably only year of having no school on Fridays, which I rather enjoyed. I even enjoyed Miss Moriarty's Zooms, which I always went to. We as students had a lot of flexibility with our schedules this year. We had the opportunity to stay virtual or go to school 2 or 4 days a week. This was also our first year of having no attendance policy, which I was very thankful for, as well as many other students. I've said my thank yous, I've talked about our future, I've mentioned the first, and I've truly enjoyed the experience. And in the wise words of Khloe Kardashian, it's been magical, but I'm done. Congratulations, everyone.
Our final speaker for the evening is class of 2021 valedictorian, Jake Hansen. Jake is the son of Thomas and Dawn Hanson. He's a member of the National Honor Society, the Chemistry Club, the French Club, History Club, and the Varsity Club. He's been a member of our golf, indoor track, and baseball teams. Jake will be attending the Rochester Institute of Technology in the fall to study in the Physician's Assistant Program. Please welcome your 2021 Valedictorian, Jake Hansen.
Hello. I want to start off with a huge thank you to all the parents, teachers, administrators, and friends out there who helped us get where we are today, and Quizlet when the others couldn't. We made it. I know some of us out there didn't think it would be possible for this day to come fast enough, yet here we are. And now we wish we could start over. We walked in freshman year, mostly to the wrong rooms, but then we found our way in our place at Auburn High School. But when we found our way, we got into our routine and took the same path throughout the school for an entire year, only to do the same thing next year. This is where that quote, "It's not about the destination, it's about the journey," really starts to sink in. It's those stops you made in the hallway to say hi to a friend, to ask a teacher how the test is going to be later, and to watch that one couple make out at the top of the stairs. These are the memories that are going to stick. The memories you'll tell your friends at college, and someday the memories you'll tell your kids. Sure, high school may not have always been everything you dreamed of. Everyone knows the feeling of being the 9th person at that 8-person table. But it's how we solved those problems that made it worth our while. Sitting with new people instead, making friends, teaching us to be amicable people. There are multiple lessons that high school managed to teach us without quizzing us on it. One that really sticks out is that you want to be the person everyone remembers. Why drift through life in the shadows when you can make your mark? Are you going to remember that quiet kid in the hallway, or are you going to remember the kid who wears a Spider-Man costume and blares music from his backpack? Don't be afraid to reach out of your comfort zone and have a little fun in life. It's the only one we got. There's no use in wasting it. Another thing we learned this year is that we can get through anything. We came together as one troop in the halls at 1 a.m. and then came together again to clean it up. But more importantly, the most commonly referred to topic this year, COVID. We went to from socializing to social distancing, Zooming through the halls to Zooming twice a week. As our attendance started to fall, so did our motivation. When participation didn't matter, some of us saw it as an extended summer. But those of us who stuck through it all and did our work and proved to ourselves that we can actually find it within ourselves to get our work done. COVID really separated us as a whole, but it gave us some time to really look within ourselves. And this is the perfect time because we're no longer held hostage from 7:58 to 2:26. We can do whatever we want, and that's scary. But I have faith in this class. I know we will go on to do great things. Within the few years I've gotten the pleasure to know most of you, I know we are all destined for greatness. We all have the potential to make it big in this world. And when we come together for a reunion, I hope to hear about all your guys' successes. Andy Bernard once said, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." But guess what? These are the good old days. We're living them right now. We have to make these years to come as great as the years we spent at Auburn High School. To end this off, I want to leave you all with a few words from Denzel Washington that really spoke to me. He said, "I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You gotta take risks. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There is no doubt about it. Never be discouraged and never look back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, fall forward." Thank you again to everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2021.
At this time, I ask for Mr. Jeffrey Pirozzolo, Superintendent of Schools, and Mr. Joseph Shepard to please join me at the podium. Mr. Shepard is our Board of Education President. Mr. Pirozzolo, Mr. Shepard, I present to you the Auburn High School graduating class of 2021. In doing so, I hereby publicly affirm that the students before you have completed the prescribed course of study set forth by the Auburn Enlarged City School District and the New York State Education Department and are entitled to the diplomas they will receive on this 25th day of June, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, before we begin our presentation of diplomas, I ask that you do not attempt to enter the field area to take pictures. Please note there is a professional photographer to my right who will take a picture of each graduate as he or she crosses the stage and receives his or her diploma. The parents of each graduate will receive a complimentary photo of their child receiving his or her diploma in the mail in the coming weeks. So again, for the enjoyment of all spectators around you and the safety of our graduates, please do not attempt to enter the field area.
Davari Ag. Savannah Allen. Melina Andahar. Leon Atkins Jr. Stephen Byer. Dylan Baker Todeschini. Ryan Barada. Amelia Bartolota. Rosalia Bartolota. Adriana Bell. Emma Bellner. Theron Bennett. Jack Bennick. Dylan Bianco. Ryan Burchard. Austin Black. Holly Boberg. Ryan Bohenick. Mylin Bowens. Anaya Bowman. Taheem Bowman. Marla Berardi. Jillian Boyer. Quinn Brady. Luke Brooks. Jadian Brown. Catherine Brown. McKenna Brown. Ricky Bruner. Ainsley Buchanan. Tristan Burdick. Louis Burke. Elijah Burns. Ethan Butler. Ethan Caputa. Jack Carbonero. Marissa Carnicelli. Shannon Casper. Vincent Catalone. Madison Kaza. Madison Chambers. Derek Chappell. Troy Cherney Jr. Ariana Clark. Chance Copeman. Samantha Kalella. Sadie Coleman. William Coleman. Bodana Kolopelnik. Alexis Congdon. Alyssa Cook. Tyler Cook. Kayla Cornelius. Connor Cornelius. Alexander Cornell. Allison Crawford. Abigail Chapillo. Anna Cummings. Ailish Cuthbert. Joshua Chiz. Alexandra Dahl. John Danzig. Tremont Daniels. Kristen Doherty. Jennifer Decker. Rizel Demaria. Madison Danica. Kylie Deo. Leah DiGiovanni. Dore DeLalo. Michael Diston. Ella Doan. Ivan Duncan. Amber Dutcher. Edward Fagan. Nicholas Fagan. Seamus Farrell. Simon Ferguson. Peyton Fitzgerald. Devon Flanagan. Elena Foos. Kaylee Forjone. Abby Franchina. Olivia Fritz. Adam Gagne. Zachary Galbailey. Tony Gow. Elena Genkos. Sydney Guerra. Gracie Giantino. Andre Gomez. Xander Gonzalez. Makai Gorley. Isabella Granado. Jacob Granado. Mylisha Green. Alexis Guido. Alexander Guzowitz. Jessica High. Jake Hansen. Madison Hastings. Langdon Helmick. Demetrius Herndon. Joshua Herrick. Ethan Hickman. Aljanique Hill. Colby Hill. Ty Hillowa. Emily Holmes. Thomas Haskins. Carissa Howard. David Hribick. Matthew Humphrey. Abby Izzo. Madison James. Abby Kane. Emma Kennedy. Madison Kenny. Connor Kiernan. Logan Kingsley. Michael Klein. Christina Klink. Todd Knight. Jasmine Katula. Alec Kowalczyk. Joshua Kowaleski. Quinn LaMontagne. Jack Leader. Abigail Lentini. Sophie Lesh. Rebecca Logue. Delaney Lovell. Isaiah Lovell Rose. Caitlin Lowe. Dakota Lupian. Connor Mahunik. Megan Mahunik. Nicholas Major. Madison Malone. Paige Maneri. Hannah Merrick. Noah Martin Leone. Elene McCall. Terrain McGaney. Zachary Mack. Kara Moen. Alani Molina. Anna Montgomery. Marissa Moore. Elizabeth Morgan. Grace Morgan. Elizabeth Moriarty. Robert Morris. Shamaine Morris. Aiden Morrison. Grace Maskov. Lauren Murphy. Nathan Myers. Rhiannon Nassif. Thomas Nedza. Colson Nemo. Lucy Noble. Ryan O'Connor. Jane Oliver. David Adderson. Kyrie Outley. Justin Palmer. Timothy Parker. Carl Pratilla Jr. Ryan Phillips. Chloe Picciano. Luke Picciano. Ivana Pierce. Jordan Pinkney. Luca Pirazzolo. Jaden Pisano. Richard Potter. Peter Prue. Ronald Quimby. Jacob Riley. Brooke Reynolds. Caitlin Rigby. Michael Reardon. Jadis Rivera. Garrett Roselle. Natalie Calandra Ryan. Zachary Serini. Jason Say. Megan Schultz. Madeline Sherman. Tyler Simpson. James Slade Lawrence. Jenna Saluka. Devin Smith. Jada Smith. Natalia Smith. Hope Sorber. Nicholas Spalding. Sebastian Spizak. Skylar Starrett. Jacob Steinbacher. Curtis Stevens. Ryan Stewart. Jenna Swanson. Jamie Tallman. Justine Tanner. Sylvan Taylor. Rachel Tian. Allison Tracy. Alan Tratt. Ethan Trupiano. Anna Tumber. Brendan Van Holtz. James Vasile. Stephanie Vasquez. Thomas Ventura. Francesca Vitale. Jefferson Vitale. Sydney Voisard. Mia Volpe. Daniel Walter. Rondell Way. Shelby Weeks. Christopher White. Mitchell White. Tamisha Whitfield Muhammad. Matthew Whiting. Brianna Wilbur. Amara Wilson. Jordan Wilson. Tucker Wise. Grace Wiseman. Brittany Yanez.
Jimmy Vasile, Senior Class President, will now lead the class in the changing of their tassels, signifying their status as graduates of Auburn High School. Ready, Jimmy? Come on, Jimmy. Toss it. So that's what if you want to read it.
Okay, guys. I mean, if you want. Okay, so I'm going to be changing your tassel over. So, graduates, please join me in moving your tassel from right to left, signifying our status as graduates from Auburn High School. And
Jimmy wants some more time at the microphone, so he's going to come back. Will Coleman, I just wish you could have cheered a little louder when everyone was getting their diplomas. How about a round of applause for you for shouting out everybody? Next in our program, 4 members of our chamber singers will lead the entire stadium in the singing of our alma mater. They will make their way up here to the microphone. The alma mater can be found on page 3 of your programs. Nobody ever sings. They will sing.
Near Owasco, shining waters, stands a building full of life, filled with Auburn sons and daughters, proud of our maroon and white. We are Maroons united all, we are Auburn, hear our call. We are Maroons forever strong. This is our spirit, this is our song. Near Owasco, shining waters, generations sing this tune. Loyal to our alma mater, ever faithful, ever true. We are Maroons united all, we are Auburn, hear our all. We are Maroons forever strong. This is our spirit, this is our song.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, when I finish speaking, like I said, Jimmy will come back to the podium for one last celebration with his classmates. But before we conclude, well, I'm sure it's not one last celebration, but it'll be the last one here at the stadium. I'm sure you'll celebrate together many more times, as you well should. But as we conclude our commencement ceremony, I echo my sentiments from earlier. I will miss you tremendously. We appreciate everything that you have done, shown the leadership that you have. I didn't hear you one time, all year, complain about what you did not have. I only heard you thank us and appreciate what you did have. And that's a credit to you and all the mothers and fathers that sit behind you. So on that note, I wish you a safe and memorable graduation season and a wonderful summer. Jimmy Vasile is coming back.
So we're going to throw our caps on 3. If everyone wants to take their cap off, get ready. Fix your hair. Okay, on 3. Is everyone ready? Okay, Troy. Let me know, Troy. 1, 2, 3.
Good job, Jimmy. Jimmy, you ready to find yours?
I'll find it.
Take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, hey. I'm on top of the world, hey. Been waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to slide, hey. Been holding it in for a while, hey. Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've tried to cut these corners, try to take the easy way. I kept on falling short of something. I could have gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I've traveled all this way for something. I take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world.